1960, 1434, and then 1960. I don't know if y'all remember that, but we can tag it.
I got it written down. You're going to talk about the voting. I'm going to talk about the drop-off. About the school drop-off. Okay? All right? So you got your information on what you're going to speak about on that to my notes. Welcome everybody to the Black Cigar Festival podcast, live here at Cigar International in Conroe. We thank Conroe we thank this Conroe location for sponsoring this podcast. This is the new adopted home of the Black Cigar Festival, and we are sitting right here with the man, Mr. Tony Guillory, assistant manager at this Conroe location. This place has a great atmosphere. I love one thing that they have a bar here, so I can get a drink. The humidor selection is awesome. It's top notch. They always have what I want, and I got my pipe right here. There you go. At Cigar International in Conroe. Mr. Tony, can y'all tell us what's going on? Coming up in August.
So we've got a few things working. Tonight we actually have a event going on with the Foundation Cigars, and we're going to have their representative Nate, who's going to be on with us in just a minute. But just to reiterate what you're saying there, how we are all loving the collaboration that we're doing with the Black Cigar Festival, man. I think everything is going really, really, really well. Yeah. We have a few things that we're working on. I know next month we have the Drew Estate event coming up. We're working on an event for the 27th. We're not sure if that's going to be a ladies' night or how we're going to present that just yet, but we're going to have something going on.
On the 27th or the 24th?
24th. I'm
sorry.
Come on,
I'm sorry. You just throwing out stuff.
Just throwing out stuff.
Y'all can hear
24th.
Right now.
It's a Saturday.
24th. So August 24th, Black Cigar Festival night. We want everybody to come right here.
Right here.
All right. Here. Starting at
now we're going
6 o'clock.
There we go.
Probably going to about midnight. We're going to have a DJ, and we're looking forward to bringing out a band for y'all. So y'all know how we do it. It's Black Cigar. It's cigars. We got the music. We got the fellas. We got the women. Are all going to come out and have a good time. This is about bringing people together, networking, business, and having some fun. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, August 24th, make sure y'all come out right here.
That's it. Perfect. Thank you. And again, man, we appreciate you guys including us in so many things. I know you're going to be talking about the back to school drive and things like that, and we're ready to be a drop-off spot for that, man.
Good.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So you talked about having a great bar, but what I always liked about the experience with CI was the knowledge of the guys working in the humidor. So like most of the new cigars I got exposed to, I got exposed to him by Tony when he was in Katy, right?
Yes.
So when I heard he was coming home, right, I was like, wow, because that gives me that, for someone who doesn't really smoke cigars every day, or multiple cigars every day, it gives me that opportunity to talk to someone and say, hey, this is my feeling today, I'm drinking this today, this will be a pairing for that. Y'all have always been, you in particular has always been that backbone for me, so I can say, hey, and try this. You've never steered me wrong.
That's actually cute. That's actually my favorite part of the job, man. My favorite part of the job is making recommendations to folks, not only new smokers, but for guys who've been smoking for a long time, because we all want to try something new.
We get stuck. We get stuck. Like, so as for myself, I was smoking on Maduro. I went early on. I had went from Habano to Maduro.
Yeah.
And then I was on Maduro for a long time, years. And so this year I started smoking Connecticut.
There you go. You go backwards.
But I know, right? But when I had started coming here and I saw the pipe that y'all had, I said, I gotta step my game up and get a pipe. And he had pointed me in the right direction. This is a good pipe. This was my first pipe, not my only pipe. I have another pipe now. And I got from CI. But this was a great starter pipe at a good price. And when you're learning how to smoke a pipe, a straight one is the perfect one. They got some more here just for y'all to come out and get. So make sure y'all come by, see out, and come roll.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Like I said, that's my favorite part of the job is just recommending new things.
You recommend this right here, man.
The thing is, all our guys in there, I try to explain to them, hey, look, we take our recommendations seriously. Okay, so don't, when you recommend something to somebody, you're putting not only your reputation on the line,
but the business reputation on
the business's
That's right. I spend my hard-earned money on it. I'm gonna hold you and see I'm responsible for that. That's just real talk. Right, you owe me.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't mean I'm not gonna sit smoking it.
Exactly.
So I'm still gonna give you about my experience.
Exactly. And the best part too, is when folks come in thinking that, hey, I need to spend $15, $20 on a stick. Yeah. And I've turned y'all on to a $7 stick, a $5 stick, and said, hey, try this out, and now you can smoke that. You can smoke that every day.
Right.
You can smoke a little $7 stick every day. $7 stick.
Right stick.
Absolutely. Because $7 stick. You at the house, mama interrupts you. You got to go do something. You put that down, and you don't mind.
You're not
$20 stick. You ain't putting that down.
You obligated to smoke that.
You obligated to smoke that. That's it. But hey, I've enjoyed our little conversation. Like I said, we've got Foundation Cigars in the house. Nate is here, and he's going to talk a little bit about what they've got going on. He's got some great cigars, man. Great cigars.
We have Nate on from Foundation Cigars. He's going to come on and tell y'all a little bit about Foundation Cigars and what they have coming up. Let's bring on Nate. Nate. Ooh. Good. All right. You're going to sit right here. How you doing, man? I gotta cut real quick. Hey man, we gotta get on the same page. We doing cigars or pipes, man. I'm doing both, man. Come on, that's how we do, man. We're on the podcast, we're chilling, man. You know what? I'm gonna bring my pipe out here for the next tape. You fell off, man. Yeah, man. You fell off, bro. Pipe in the box. It's in the box, man. All right, so we got Nate, Foundation Cigars. Nate, can you tell us a little bit about where Foundation Cigars is located, where their crops are at, what kind of blends y'all are using, how did my stick come into play? How this is a beautiful looking cigar. I can't wait to smoke this. What you waiting on?
I know exactly.
What you waiting on? Come on now.
He was smoking the pipe too much. That's what it was.
Right.
You got to be lighting up that David. So that was a lot of questions there. We'll start with what you pointing at. Oh, gotcha. So we'll start with where. We'll start where we're located. So we're based out of Ellington, Connecticut. Right in the heart of the Connecticut River Valley on a 300-acre tobacco farm. It's beautiful. It's one of the jewels of the American tobacco growing industry. Lots of folks are very familiar with the fact that, tobacco cultivation and production takes place in Nicaragua, the Dominican, Honduras, of course, but not so many folks are, super familiar with the fact that, a lot of the wrappers that are on some of your favorite cigars, a la the Tabernacle 142 that you got there, or the Broadleaf, that's all grown right here in the United States. Manufacturing-wise, for us, everything does take place in Nicaragua. So once all of that, luscious, delicious, Connecticut crop wrapper leaf is grown, it is then sent down to Nicaragua, where it is produced, for us within AJ Fernandez's facilities, or for the new wise man within the My Father Don Pepin facilities.
Hold on. So you grow it in Connecticut?
Yes, sir.
For real?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes.
You
So
grow it in Connecticut, or you get it started and then you ship it down to Nicaragua?
correct. So for our portfolio, Tabernacle Broadleaf and Havana CT 142, those wrapper leaves are grown right outside my window to the office.
Wow.
Yes,
Hey,
so it is.
Now that's made in the USA right there, bro.
It is.
There you go.
So it's, we have a very interesting growing season, and Connecticut is not necessarily the best place to be growing. We deal with a lot of, pests, poor weather, freezing temperatures, rain, anything that could be an issue, we have it. However, the reason why the tobacco ends up being so tasty is a result of the soil that we have in Connecticut. So if you want me to nerd out a little bit, this goes back to the last glacial period, last ice age. So the heart of the Connecticut River Valley, 50, 100,000 years ago, used to be covered in, mile deep sheets of ice. So as that receded over time, it left behind, super rich glacial deposits that all ended up settling into a big lake about 10,000 years ago that was known as Lake Hitchcock. As that continued to evaporate, it left super nutrient seed bed deposits along the banks of the Connecticut River, that eventually settled into, our old tobacco growing region. So the soil that we have within this particular area of Connecticut is known as a sandy loam soil, and it essentially allows for great filtration of water, and it also allows for the tobacco root to seep super deep into the soil and grow, super rigid, and also have the proper level of filtration from water too. So similar to wine, the terroir that comes into play in Connecticut with tobacco is huge.
So you just got the right mixture of soil, moisture, aged over time. So is
100%.
this property been family owned since how long? How long does this go back to?
Sure. So one of our closest partners that we work with in the Valley is Dun & Foster Tobacco Farm. Okay. John Foster, he is now a 14th generation American. So the fields that we're working on, kind of almost predate the existence of the United States. A lot of the land that was grown, that was utilized for tobacco growth there, was all partitioned out via royal grants from King George at the time here. We're going back to late 1600s, early 1700s. Unfortunately, a lot of that is starting to go away, which is why it's outside of the difficult weather conditions. We've also dealt with a shrinking amount of acreage in which we are able to grow tobacco.
So that's my next question. So approximately, how big is y'all farmland that y'all use to harvest these leaves?
Sure. So with our office, we're operating on about 300 acres, and that particular plot is.
Hey, that's sizable, bro.
Yeah, it's a decent amount, but not nearly enough for what everybody, let alone what we need, but what everybody else needs. Because Connecticut broadleaf, there's an insatiable demand for it on the market. Outside of that, we're also competing with the mass market side of things as well, because historically, Connecticut broadleaf is not meant to be utilized as a wrapper grade type of tobacco. If you're looking at the plant itself, it doesn't grow very tall. It's got huge draping leaves. It is not aesthetically pleasing whatsoever. However, I think people are drawn to the rustic nature of what the leaf looks like, but it was always meant to be binder and filler grade tobacco. With that, you're also not needing to ferment the tobaccos as long. However, with wrapper grade, once it's grown and cultivated and sent down to Nicaragua, it also then needs to sit in fermentation for upwards of 2 years.
Wow.
And that's even before it gets put onto the production floor, blended, boxed up, and sent up here. So the process is very painstaking.
So is the process similar to alcohol, where they have bonded, so they lock it up for so many years? under like lock and key? Like how does that aging process actually go about?
Sure. So down in Nicaragua, within their factories, there are areas of which storage for fermentation taking place, and that's ultimately where so much of us as a manufacturer, our cash flow is tied up because you're sitting on years and years worth of material, and then even once it is comes out of fermentation, there's no guarantee what the quality of that leaf is.
That's what I was going to ask. Is it a certain amount that goes bad?
Yeah. So before it even gets down there, whether it's got water spots or it didn't cure all the way through properly, as far as fermentation, we'll get back to that. That's what we're discussing here. It's also one of the most nerve-wracking parts of Nick's process as well because it almost has to be done just right. If it sits in too long, it gets cooked, and you're going to have really acrid, bitter, off-putting flavors. And if you pull it out too soon, you're going to have similar qualities that you don't want to be working with as far as the blend goes.
Right, you don't get the right flavor for it.
Exactly.
Right. This cigar this is like the perfect blend cigar. You over there looking slightly orgasmic over there. You all right? Man, because you need a drink. It's starting to come alive. I kind of hit the foot. It's starting to kind of come to me.
So on that Havana CT 142, that's also a very particular type of seed varietal that only we utilize, and that actually takes 3 to 3.5 years worth of time in fermentation. So, before you're getting the final product here, what you're smoking, you're looking at close to 3.5-4 years worth of time from seed, to finished product. And those of you that would like to have a little bit more of an in-depth view of that, I highly recommend you to visit our YouTube channel and look at our Seed to Cigar video. It's a 10-minute long video that completely encapsulates the entire process from seed to finished product. So it's a really cool in-depth look into that kind of behind-the-scenes process. Obviously, there's tons to it that could never be completely surmised in a 10-minute video. But as far as all you guys that are watching, it does give you a nice overview of everything that does take place behind the scenes before it ends up in a beautiful humidor or you guys are smoking it. It
has a very Cuban-esque top style taste to me, right? It does. That's what I'm getting. It has that oaky, spicy, slight sweetness to it.
It's got an incredibly unique taste.
I'm getting both. You know what I'm saying? Like I can get both out of this. And this is good.
As you can
mine is that sun growing. I can tell from the I know.
So as you could see, as you guys held those cigars, they almost have an incredible sheen to them as a result of the oil that's inherent within this plant.
I love. So most time when you see the ones that have that sheen to them, they have almost like a mechanical feel to them, right?
Yeah.
But this feels very natural.
Correct. So this particular type of tobacco here, this particular seed was developed to be incredibly resistant to a lot of the problems that we do have in Connecticut, whether it be weather or pests or funguses, molds, bacteria, whatever it could be.
So this is a strong.
It is. So the plant's natural defense to all of those problems is to have a massive buildup of oils. So that ultimately translates to flavor, but it also, needs to sit in fermentation for 3.5 years in order to get to that point.
Obviously, it takes a much hardier leaf to withstand weather in Connecticut versus Nicaragua.
Correct. Outside of when Connecticut shade was primarily being grown up in the valley, that was a result. That wrapper leaf was golden brown and silky, a little bit thinner than what you have here, but that was the result of it being covered with cheesecloth, so it helped filter through some of the light, so it wouldn't develop, to that level of intensity, and then you'd have something a little bit more mild, a little bit more silky, creamy. Unfortunately, that had all went away because, at that point in time, the state wasn't as up to speed as it should have been to keep up with the seed being brought to Ecuador, where they were having incredible yields. Again, going back to terroirs we discussed with Connecticut, Ecuador kind of has a consistent cloud cover year-round, so you don't necessarily need any sort of cheesecloth whatsoever, and you're dealing with a lot less environmental hazards too. So, on a good year, let's say you had 70 to 80% yield of your crop with Connecticut shade in the valley, you could consistently hit higher than that all the time with Ecuador with with much less inconsistency. So, yeah, it's interesting to see how the valley's changed over time. Going back to the 1600s to 400 years later, where we're at, just with the different types of tobaccos that have been grown, and where consumer trends have gone and whatnot. Wow. So it's a real pleasure to be up there and work with Foundation, because we're very much on an active farm too. It's not just a set piece.
So in other words, what you're telling us is that when me and Howard go up to Connecticut, we got a tour coming.
Yeah, it could be in the cards. So right now, because we are a small team and we are growing, we don't necessarily have the infrastructure to be hosting people all the time yet. But within the next 3 to 5 years, our goal really is to cement Connecticut as the Napa Valley of cigar tobacco within the United States, and obviously expose everybody within the cigar community to what we have going on up there.
So I have a question about your connection with Legal Provider.
Sure.
Can you speak on that?
I can, yes. So the owner of Foundation, Nicholas Melillo, he began his career on the tobacco side with Drew Estate in the early 2000s. His life in cigars actually began even before that, as he began working retail at the age of 18 back home in Connecticut at the Calabash shop. So that's initially where he had met Jonathan Drew. After Nick had graduated college, he had went around the world on a one-way ticket. Him and JD kind of stayed connected via email. After Nick was done traveling, he essentially had an offer to go be JD's right-hand guy down in Nicaragua. So, in the early 2000s, he was able to absorb, tons of information from guys like Kiki Berger, Nicholas Perdomo, guys that really taught him the ropes on the tobacco purchasing, production, blending side of the equation. So, even getting into the mid-2000s now, when Liga was starting to be developed, Drew Estate wasn't necessarily known for their premium products. They were...
It was more of an everyday cigar.
Well, they were the infused guys, right? Because they were known for acid, and they weren't taken very seriously by, the hardcore traditional cigar smokers. So, Nick was, spearheaded this effort to, develop a super premium cigar, of course, utilizing Connecticut tobaccos, which was always a dream of his, being from the state. So, with that being said, he had originally developed 10 different blends. Number 9, which we've all come to know, is what was ultimately, selected by the powers that be. And even initially, it didn't come out to super crazy fanfare. After the first year of it being on the market, however, that's when things really took off, and it really cemented its legacy, as a powerhouse brand, or powerhouse blend for that matter, within the industry, and especially for Nick's legacy, as well, becoming known as Chief of the Broadleafs, with that particular product. It gave him a lot of fanfare, especially when Foundation launched. We didn't begin with a broadleaf-based product. Some of the first ones that had come out were El Huehuense, Wise Man Maduro. Tabernacle wasn't a release that it didn't come until a couple years later into the company's existence. But it was super highly anticipated, and even being one of the earlier releases, within our company's existence, it still has been by far one of the most popular.
Definitely. So can you tell us anything else that's coming up?
For sure. So this is year 9 of the company's existence. So I know Nick's been hard at work cooking something up for next year with the decade anniversary. I can't spill any more beans other than that, because that's about all I know. But with that being said, we do have some one of our newer blends out on display here for you guys. It's actually what I'm smoking here. This is the Oxum here, guys. So this actually does have a nice little tie-in to Tabernacle, not only from a branding perspective, but also from tobaccos that are being used. And I think a lot of you that smoke Tabernacle would really enjoy this blend as well. So Oxum, yes. So the Oxumite Empire was a civilization that was located now modern-day Ethiopia. And the gentleman that is on the band here is actually Haile Selassie's father, who is on the Tabernacle. Oxum, according to local legend, is actually where the Ark of the Covenant is held. And those of you that are unaware, the Tabernacle is what housed the Ark of the Covenant. So we have a lot of Ethiopian tropes going on here.
I love that.
Exactly.
So from a tobacco standpoint, we're working with Ecuador Sumatra wrapper. It's actually the first time that Nick has worked with that leaf at any point in time, within Foundation or Drew Estate for that matter. You're going to get like a nice, earthy, rich, natural tobacco sweetness from that Sumatra. Underneath, to the Tabernacle similarity, we're using Connecticut broadleaf as the binder here. Going back to the tobacco side of things, when we're purchasing tobacco, you're not just able to buy everything that looks, gorgeous and beautiful and that can only exclusively be used for Tabernacle. You kind of have to use all parts of the cow. There's tons of awesome, delicious tobacco that we have, but it kind of gets, re-encompassed into other blends that we have in the portfolio. So it just so happened to be that this Connecticut broadleaf binder that we had building up worked beautifully with the Sumatra wrapper. Underneath that, we have all Nicaraguan filler. So the result is an earthy, rich, naturally sweet, full-bodied cigar that those of you that love Tabernacle would certainly love Oxum as well. It comes in two different variations. We have an Ecuador Sumatra Claro, so that'll be a touch down in strength, and then we have the Ecuador Sumatra Maduro for those of you guys that prefer something to be a little bit heavier.
Can't wait to get a hold of one. Let's be the next one.
Should be.
Hey Nick, we appreciate you coming on.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I greatly appreciate you guys having me on.
Great knowledge, and I love the connection that you had, spoke about with Connecticut, and I did not know that this brand, it starts off being made in the U.S.
United States, made in the U.S.
That's big, man.
It is.
I love
huge.
that.
It's huge, and hopefully, like I said, in the next couple of years, we can start having some of you guys come up and see everything, because I do think it would, really open up everybody's eyes to the whole process. Because there's a lot in between, what happens from there to this, the finished product, and it's really cool to have that type of hands-on experience and have a real appreciation for, the agricultural side of things.
Hey man, next time you come to town, let us know. Give us a heads up. We'd love to get you back on again, man.
Yeah, I'd love to be back on. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Thank you very much for
Appreciate
coming.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.
Of course, guys.
All right.
Thank you, Nick.
There's lots of dates and nicks in here.
Thank you.
Of course, guys.
All right. I want to speak real quick while we bring on Miss Tracy about we are starting a back to school giveaway. Excuse me. We are doing the giveaway. Let me correct that. We are starting a back to school drop off, and CI Conroe is going to be one of the drop off locations, as well as Maestro's. Those two locations right here is 16580 I-45 in Conroe, Texas. Right here is CI Conroe, and Maestro's Barber Academy, 14434 Cypress Creek Parkway, 1960 in Ella, if the old school people know about that. Come, drop off. These are going to kids that definitely need or in need. For some parents, this time can be a hard time. You're buying clothes, you're getting haircuts, you're enrolling or you're changing schools, and you also have to buy school supplies. So this just takes that weight off, takes that burden off of some parents. So feel free to stop in to CI Conroe, and while you're here, pick up a Foundation cigar, right? So now we're gonna bring on Miss Tracy with R&D Cigars and Accessories, my lady right here.
I love it.
Been down with Black Cigar Festival for a long time. How you doing today, my love?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I appreciate this.
Awesome. So what are you smoking on today?
I'm smoking on a Del Sol.
Okay.
This is always a go-to I keep in the humidor. Do you need me to hold on to this?
Yes, please. That's my bad for not saying that.
I'm new. I'm smoking on a Del Sol. This is something that I always keep in the humidor. It's a nice light smoke, simple. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. So can you tell us a little bit about R&D Cigars? How you got started? Maybe some challenges, some pitfalls you had to overcome to get to where you are now in all these stores all over. You know what I'm saying?
definitely some challenges. Starting a new business, you're always going to have some challenges. You have to have some tough skin, and you cannot take it personal. You need to understand that everybody is not your customer, even if they're doing the same thing that you're doing, like enjoying cigars.
Right.
I started simply because a very good friend of mine in Vegas said, I didn't know what to get you for a Christmas gift, and I saw this cigar poker. That's how I was introduced to him. I didn't even know what it was, and I was like, okay, this is cool, But I lost it, and I felt so bad.
And I lost mine too. The one that you had gave me said, let me know.
Gotta get you another one. So I said, okay, well, let me do some research, and finally I found somebody else to, do one. And I said, well, I'd like to have a couple of them. And then I got what I hear all the time in businesses, I'm not doing them no more. So I was like, okay, come on now. What is this? I can understand if it's just your hobby and it's a passion, something you do every once in a while, which is kind of how I still deal with this. I mean, I'm consistent about it, but it's really a passion for me.
There you go, yeah.
So I did some research, and I said, okay, let me figure this out. So Las Vegas Cigar Warehouse, thank you. Carried them for a while when I lived in Vegas. Shout out to Las Vegas. I miss you guys. Thank you for your support.
Shout out to Tapping Ass.
Tapping Ass.
What?
Yes, come on now.
What?
Were you there for?
I was gonna bring that shirt down, but I didn't. I was gonna wear that shirt today, but I thought I was gonna represent instead. But next week I'll bring Tapping Ass.
Yeah, Tapping Ass. Nice vibe. Nice vibe. Good hospitality. Yeah, and get there early so you could get a seat because she packs out. Yeah, they pack out.
Great job.
Nice. Especially if you go to the Big Smoke. Yeah.
We'll talk about Big Smoke.
Yes.
Right.
So anyway, I said, let me figure out how I can do this. And I have a couple of friends that have cigar businesses that have supported me also. And I've been in the Houston area now for almost 3 years. You can find my products on my new website, www.rmdcigaraccessories.com. I reopened my Etsy store. And I've been in CDOT for 2 years now.
That's what's up.
So I appreciate that.
So you out there now?
I'm out there. Yeah.
It's a beautiful product too. I mean, I'm looking at that. I couldn't imagine.
Thank you.
I'm sure some people go, these are lady picks, but I'm sure that just as many men buy your picks as women.
You know what? Of course, as a woman, I created them started doing it for women because it's hard to find cigar accessories for us, and we are really showing out, coming in, being the new cigar smokers. I'm not really new, but there's a lot of us coming in now. So I still have my primary customer is still the guys. Every time I go to CDOT, we need more for the guys, Women buy them, but the guys buy. So my skulls are my biggest.
Guys want to try them too, right? They want to look elegant when they're out smoking a cigar. Right, exactly.
So basically, I just lit this up, but basically a cigar pick is an accessory that you use when your cigar gets down to a nub. So if it's a little smaller than yours, or if you get down, there you go, right about there. There you go, here.
Make sure you get that back from because I think I'm trying to keep it. Where should I place it at?
You could place it right about in there.
Now, do I go all the way through?
You can, I do, but you can go as comfortable as you like.
What if I just want to go right there?
There you go. And there's your sample. So it gives you an opportunity instead of burning your fingers and enjoying your little nub, because some of them real good cigars that we really like, we want to get every bit of it out.
It's me right here.
And that's it. And then you hold on to it.
That pig back. I feel some kind of way.
I don't think that one's going. I don't think that one's going back.
I found mine again. I think it matches his necklace over there too, right? Come on.
I think that one's gone. But this is how you use your cigar pick to hold on to your cigars. I do have some people to say, the cigar turns. It's all about the balance that you create with it to hold it. Yeah. So that way it's not twirling around or you're not, hitting yourself with the ashes. Really, really simple. Whatever your comfortability is. But back to your question, I started RMD. When I was trying to create a name for the business, I was like, okay, I don't know what to do. And I was sitting down, and I just got finished talking to my oldest granddaughter, and I said, that's it. Renee Mackenzie Delilah. That's it. R&B cigar accessories.
R&B. So it's
Simple.
Your grandchildren's
Yes.
name. Wow,
Yeah.
But you know, to me, what brings it home for me is you have associated your business with family.
Yeah.
I say. So,
Absolutely.
you know, and to me, it comes off as it's not a monetary thing.
Right.
It's a pride thing.
Right.
Because when we represent our family,
Yeah.
that's a little different than we say, I'm out here trying to make a buck.
Right.
Come on.
I'm
Yeah.
out here doing what I love to do,
Yeah.
and I'm representing me and your grandkids.
Exactly.
So you say that's the lineage that you're looking at.
Exactly.
So if you put that first, the money's going to come.
Yeah.
Come on. Yes.
Yeah.
The money's going to come.
They say that when you do something that you enjoy, then it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah,
And
more
that's
today
just
in your
it.
life.
And for me, it's not about, going to sit in my office and putting all this stuff together and throwing something out. Like, it's a process for me. I could sit in there all day and do all kind of work, and then I just kind of put it aside. But then when I feel like, okay, this is what I want to do, or I want to scrap it, and that's when I put it together.
So it feels like it's maybe more of meditation.
It is. I enjoy doing it. Like I got, I have to do more videos. I really don't, but I need to do more. But I can sit in my office and I got my whole vibe and my TV and all that, and and I'm doing some other work, and I just sit in there and I'm just like, okay, well, maybe these colors will go. Or I might go in another room and be like, that might work. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or if I get a special request, of course, I'll honor that. So, yeah.
What kind of volume do you get?
It's not really consistent.
Okay.
It's not really consistent.
Come on, we gotta support people.
It's not really consistent. But that's not bad. Okay. C-Dot, who gave me a chance, and I just walked in and it was like, we don't have anybody doing this right here.
Man, we got too many lounges out here for us. She needs to be in all of these lounges. Call up R&B Cigars. Right now, call up my girl Tracy. Come on now.
Listen, you guys can reach out to me on Instagram. You can follow me, RMD Cigar Accessories OG on TikTok.
Come on,
and
OG.
of course, OG. Or of course, on my website, www.rmdcigaraccessories.com. But what I find though too is a lot of cigar lounges don't really specialize in accessories, and that's okay. Kind of figure out what it is that your customer base likes.
You find your niche.
Right. So if you have, I notice in Texas more so than any place that I've been to in the country, because wherever I go, I'm going somewhere and smoke.
Okay.
But I found in Texas there are a lot more that are bring your own, kind of like the friendly atmosphere, my regular spot, and that's cool. But as far as building your business, find something that your customers like. If it's not just their special cigars, reach out to, listen, I'm going to give a plug here to another business. Reach out to Ease Ash, all right? Offer something additional for your customer, because not only is it going to bring new customers in to your business, but it's also another representation of your business as well. And we all want to make money.
Now we can plug in Easy Ash. Easy Ash does the marketing for the cigar ashtray.
Easy
right?
Ash, he's out of Dallas. You could get him at eazyash.com. You can find him on Instagram and TikTok, and he is the only person that is making disposable ashtrays.
Yeah, those are nice.
And the greater, what is even bigger about that is if you want to have them customized to your brand and to your cigar lounge, a couple of dollars. This is a representation. Where you get that? People are going to come back to your establishment
because of that.
Okay, because of that. When I got my new packaging for my cigar picks, and I was like, here, when I left them at C-Dot, and I was like, here's some packaging, they were like, well, I love this. So you have to be the representation of your brand. I stand by my product. I take my time. I put a lot of love into it. I don't want anything that everybody else is doing. I've never been that person. I did it because it was something that I found a need for, and then I wanted to share it with everybody else. Yeah.
What I like about it is they seem to have their own little personality, right? Because when you look at this portfolio here, that's one vibe, right? But then you flip it, that's a whole different vibe.
That's a whole different vibe.
Oh man,
No, you already got yours.
I like.
You got yours over here. You got yours over here.
Oh man,
a whole different vibe over here.
And then we got another.
Wow.
We got another vibe there.
Okay. I like that too.
So during the spring, I did a lot of basketballs with skulls. I did a lot of AKAs. I did deltas. I did masons. Going. Even baseball.
Wow.
With orange. Yeah, with the orange for the Astros. Yeah.
Come on, Astros. There we go.
Yeah.
Right.
So you kind of got to pay attention to what your customers are requesting, and then provide that for them.
I think you've done a great job with that, Tracy.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So what do you have coming up new? Do you have any new designs or any new accessories coming out?
What I have introduced on my website by special order only are flask. So right now I'm only doing them for, and I really don't like to say just for the ladies because I was in Casa. I'm gonna give a shout out
because we all drink.
We all drink.
Right.
And there were a couple of brothers sitting there, big guys. It was maybe about 8 of them, and they ended up doing a special order of the crowns because that was the symbol for their bike club in San Diego.
On the flag.
And so, no, not on the flask, on the cigar picks. So they ordered the crowns.
On the picks. Okay.
On the picks. So I did a custom order for them for everybody in the bike club.
Ooh, I like
so this
that.
is the crown,
Wow,
and then they got pearls inside.
Okay. I think that's the one that I had before that I had lost. She put it forward there for another one, right?
I'm listening to him.
Support. I'm going to buy it.
But we are introducing. I'm doing T-shirts, and I'm going to add something a little different. So I do them in V-neck, and I do them in the regular crew neck. I'm going to be adding something else. I'm kind of working on like a phrase to have something a little different as well. And I'm doing the special order flask. They're black. They have my logo on them, of course. And a little bling. So when you go to the spot where you bring your own bottle, I'm not a real heavy drinker, so I kind of had to keep that in mind. But you want to go out, you don't want to have the bottle. You just want to have a little something. It's enough to put a couple of shots in there and pour it out. Get your little sip. Yeah.
So Tracy, are you on any social media? So Instagram, Facebook?
Okay. So I am on Instagram at RMD_Cigar_accessories. Okay. And I am on TikTok at RMD Cigar Accessories OG. And then you can catch me on my website at www.rmdcigaraccessories.com.
All right.
Yeah.
One more time. Put it out there one more time.
All right. So one more time. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for bringing me on and considering me. I really appreciate this.
Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate it. So again, you can catch me on social media, TikTok, RMD Cigar Accessories OG, www.rmdcigaraccessories.com, and on Instagram, RMD_Cigar_accessories.
Y'all come out, support this lady.
Support, thank you, I appreciate it. And we do ship. We do ship. I don't do special deliveries in person unless you have a cigar business, but we do ship. And we're going to be coming to Emmett's soon.
Okay.
So shout out to my friends that just became the new owners of Emmett's. So I'm going to be doing an event, probably ladies' night or something. I'll be setting up there, and they're going to be carrying my cigar accessories in there soon.
We're going to have ladies' night here too now.
Yeah. Okay.
We're going to have ladies' night here too, so you make sure you come back out.
Let me know.
Yes, ma'am, we will.
And you know what? I'm going to reach out to them too, because if y'all want to make a ride down to Sugarland, I think you need to maybe, interview them as well. Yeah. Let's make that happen.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you very much for coming out.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
We got the man with the plan. Talking about you. Come on. He said, talking about me. Like you don't know. The man, the myth, the legend.
I don't know about all that.
Come on now.
I get one of these light ones. I kind of smoked my
Yeah. We got Terrence Gray here. T. Gray. Marketing, business, guru. From the Bronx to the boardroom. On you. One time. Come on. Now,
What's up, Howard?
how you doing, sir?
You good?
I'm doing great.
What's up, Q?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man? I'm good, bro.
Thank you guys
Good.
for having me again.
Good.
I appreciate being here.
I wanted,
bro.
thank you, I appreciate it. Had to bring out my Texas swag, you know what I'm saying?
For real. Are you originally from here?
Born and raised. Home. Acres home.
Yes.
Come on now. Beaumont.
Okay, cool.
You know, had I known that was going to be the attire for it, I'd have thrown off my hat and boots, but you know, I wasn't privy to the wardrobe attire for the day.
See, and I would have worn my New York Yankees cap, but that would have got me in all sorts of
Yeah,
trouble.
that got you beat up.
You could have worn
Beat up here, man. Right. We orange and blue here, man. We orange and blue here. We gotta let that Yankee stuff drop.
Yeah, that is who we are.
I'm still trying to get over Roger Clemens and Andy Pettitte.
Come on,
I've
man.
got scar tissue on that, bro. I got scar tissue.
Hey, come on now. So, I want to pick back up where we had left off last time.
Right.
And you were giving us some really good nuggets on having the right mindset when you're starting business.
Right.
Because I think, in my opinion, you can have a plan,
Right.
right? But if you don't have that desire, and you have mentioned hunger. Oh, that comes from right there. We say that hunger.
Right. Hunger.
Speak on that hunger for me.
Hunger is you gotta want it.
Come on.
You gotta start out by really wanting it. And I think what happens, Howard, is a lot of people, they just think they want it,
Yeah.
but they don't really want it. Now, here's how you can tell you want it. You want it when you start to pass over the things you like, and you start to deny yourself the things that you like in order to go after what it is you really want.
Man.
Right? And that includes sleep. That includes sleep.
Right, no doubt.
Right? If you can't get out of the bed to go chase your dream, you ain't hungry enough. You don't really want it. You're comfortable.
Come on.
Right?
Right.
So you have to have that hunger. And for me, bro, my hunger came from growing up in the Bronx, dirt poor, congregation taking up collections to help us have groceries. And every once in a while we had some friends that lived in upstate New York.
Okay. Yeah.
And every once in a while they would pile us into the station wagon.
Yeah.
I'm dating myself. I don't even know if they have station wagons no more.
Yeah, they call it SUVs now.
They call SUVs now. Well, back in the days,
Right. The Woodies.
you couldn't tell if it was a car or a piece of furniture because they had wood on the side. All it needed was some
The wood,
shelves, some
right,
drawers, right? But we'd go up and visit these folks, and these jokers had a pony,
Oh wow. Blew your mind.
and everybody had a bicycle. And as we would drive back, I would just say to myself, why don't we have ponies and bicycles? And they had a house. And we lived in the projects on the 12th floor. And on Saturdays, we'd be confused because we'd be listening to like 5 different genres of music at the same time. The people above, across, and whatever. So I'm like, I determined at a young age, like around 8, 9, or 10 years old, I'm like, I am gonna do something bigger and better. This is not gonna be my life. So you gotta find that hunger, and you have to tap into it so that you'll have what you need to go ahead and chase your dream. Because here's the deal: whatever it is that you want, it will not be convenient. It will not be easy. They will not come to your house and knock on your door and give it to you. You will have to chase it. You will have to give up all sorts of creature comforts in order to get it. And some people can't pass up Friday night at the club. They can't pass up, sleeping late. They can't pass up hanging out. They can't pass up their favorite TV show in order to go get it. You know what they can't pass up? They can't pass up their own doggone feelings.
You're right about that.
Because sometimes you got to check your own feelings and say, you know what? Fighting this little war or cussing this person out is not as important as my freaking dream. So first thing is, like you said, Howard, you got to be hungry. You got to be hungry enough to make it a priority. Got a torch?
Man,
I do.
light my man up. Light my man up. Now, you have a book coming out that you're working on.
Yes. I'm working on a book because, one of the things that I've had a lot of great mentors in my life. I've had a lot of great mentors, and they're very successful and they're very wealthy, and there's absolutely nothing in this world that I can give them to pay them back for what they've sown into me. The only thing that I can do is pay it forward.
There you go.
So what I want to do in my book is I want to pay forward what I've learned about how to be successful. But here's the thing. There's a lot of books out there on how to be successful. There's the 10 tips to this and the 21 laws of this and the 48 laws of that.
Rich man, poor man.
Rich dad, poor dad, the whole deal. But what very few people ever talk about is all the mistakes. Now, you and I, we had a side conversation last week, and I asked you, what is the best way to get through a minefield? Right? You guys know what a minefield is, right?
You did say that,
Right?
Yeah.
And the answer to the best way to get through a minefield is follow somebody. Because they will show you all the places where you can get blowed up, right? And I have been blowed up. I'm 55 years old. I've been blowed up quite a few times. So my book's going to come from a different angle. My book is going to be basically all the reasons you're failing and what you can do to turn that around right now. Right? So I'm gonna share the mistakes. I'm gonna share where the potholes and the mines and the pitfalls are. And the reason I'm gonna do that is that other conversation we had last week. Right? So everybody knows that expression, Q. They know the expression, experience is the best teacher.
It is.
Right?
It is.
But what very few people know is the entire expression. It's bigger. It's more than that. It's not. It doesn't stop there. It actually ends two ways. Experience. The first way is this: experience is the best teacher, as long as it's somebody else's experience.
Come on, man. God dog.
Right? So what you want to do is you want to learn from what other people have done. And what I've found about wealthy and successful people is that they're very, very open about sharing what they've done right. And they're also very, very open about sharing what they've done wrong.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the average millionaire has 8 failed businesses before they got it right.
Yeah.
And going back to hunger, most people aren't hungry enough to fail 8 times.
That's true.
So what was your motivation to want to do it this way? I mean, you said
To want to do what this way?
to want to write your book from this perspective.
Because people don't share that. So a lot of folks do like vanity books, and they share their success, and really
look better.
Yeah, the book is just a way of saying, hey, I'm so great, look at me, right?
People want to emulate that, though.
Right.
That's what they want to emulate.
Right.
They don't want to see the struggle.
Right.
They want to see the end result. And
Exactly.
then they want to jump straight to the end result.
And what happens?
They fail.
They fail. They step on a mine and they get their leg blown off, right? So here's the other way that expression ends. Experience is the best teacher for fools who will learn no other way, right?
Ooh.
So my challenge, I feel like my calling when it comes to writing this book is to make sure that I show people where the mines are, show people where the pitfalls are, and give people the opportunity to learn from my experience, because I have made a lot of mistakes.
We all have.
I've made a lot of mistakes, and I've had to reinvent myself I don't even know how many times.
How do you make yourself aware of your mistakes? You know, because sometimes you can be, you don't realize.
Right.
You know, and it takes that point of reflection to realize, okay, am I in alignment of where I'm, trying to go? Speaking from my own experience,
right?
I've been an entrepreneur. I've had my fire and security alarm business for 15 years, and before that, I had a T-shirt business. Before that, I had a cleaning business. So I had failed a couple times before I made millions. Now, when I had made those millions, I had blew it all away. Can you speak on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the reasons people fail, oh my God, I cannot believe you asked me this question. One of the reasons people fail is lack of mentorship. And lack of mentorship happens for a few reasons. Number one, you don't know that you should seek mentorship. You're just too green.
Yeah.
Right?
Didn't know.
Number two, too proud and too arrogant
That was me.
to let somebody help you.
I knew it all.
So when you find a mentor who's been where you've been, they can help you, right? So the reason why I said I can't believe you asked that question is I actually made my first $1 million on a job.
Okay.
Right? I mean, which is really saying a lot because it's hard to make to have a W-2. That's
$1 million,
right?
Newsweek?
This was at Lycos.com.
Okay.
Where I was employee number 26. Lycos was one of the original search engines.
I remember that. Yeah.
And like 3 or 4 years into Lycos, my W-2 said $1.4 million.
That's like CEO.
Right? And I was a senior vice president of business development. But here's what I did. I blew it off. Yeah. I was like the corporate version of a lot of our young brothers who make it big in the NBA or professional sports, and they don't have a mentor, and then you find out they're broke again. Right? I'm sorry, and you find out they're broke again, and it's because they didn't know what to do with the money.
Right.
And so I was ignorant, even though I was surrounded by potential and qualified mentors. I was ignorant to the fact that I should ask for help. And this was not arrogance. This was, I just didn't even, I don't even think the word mentor was in my vocabulary at the time.
Yeah. So I got a example for you though, Chief, right?
Yes, sir.
So you just spoke about you brought on mentors, right? Now the counterbalance to that was when you brought on mentors, that means you had to let certain people go because they were bringing your mindset to the wrong area.
Correct.
I want you to speak more on that because there are a lot of people now that they have cheerleaders.
Right.
But it's the wrong type of cheerleader. They cheerlead you down the wrong path.
Correct.
Please, so talk to the people about that because that's what I don't think gets expressed out there enough. We talked about athletes, right?
Right.
They're surrounded by yes men.
Right.
Right? How do you disassociate yourself from those people and surround yourself more around the mentors that's going to guide you in the right direction?
Remember when we were young, Q, and Mama told us, don't hang out with that one, don't hang out with them, because if you get in with the wrong crowd, you're going to become like them. Right?
Yeah. Don't tell me what to do though, Mom.
Right? Yeah, you didn't want to listen to Mama. But here's a universal fact. Your income will be the average of the 5 people that you hang out with the most.
I've heard that so many times.
So if the 5 people you hang out with are broker than you or at the same level as you, you're either going to go down in income or you're going to stay where you are. If you want to bring your income up, you got to hang out with people who are doing better than you. So look at it this way. I'm not really good at basketball.
Yeah.
But if I started to hang out with some of the 5 of the top players in basketball today, and I started playing backyard basketball with them, guess what would happen? My game would improve. My game would have to come up, right? So when you choose your mentors and you choose your crowd, you want to choose people who are doing better than you, so that you now can come up. You want to be the lowest person in the group.
Yes. Wow.
So Q, to your point, you're gonna have to change your association.
You gotta let them go.
You have to let them go. Now, it doesn't mean you gotta kick them to the curb. It doesn't mean you don't talk to them anymore. But you are gonna have to now start to limit your association with people who are not helping you along the path of where you want to go. You're gonna have some limits. The same way that if you want to lose weight, you're gonna have to limit your association with bad food. Or if you want to make more money, you have to limit your association with people who are not making money and who cannot help you make money.
Now that's hard when some of them people are your friends and your family. So are you saying to break away from friends and family?
I'm saying to limit.
Okay.
I'm saying to limit. So Q and I had this conversation a while ago. I have a low threshold for meaningless conversation.
Bullshit.
Right? So that means, and I'm sure family's gonna see this, I have a low threshold for Sunday afternoons and family reunions because I can't sit around and talk about sports for hours and hours and hours. You know why? Those mofos, can I say that?
Yeah.
Those mofos are millionaires already. Yeah. I can't sit around talking about a bunch of millionaires in tight pants and helmets when I don't have my shit together yet. So I have to go and find myself association with people who are where I want to be and who could sew into me and who can give me some new concepts, and I can go to bed that night talking about, wow, I didn't know that, but I can implement that in what I'm doing. How does that affect my business? How does that affect how I operate? Does that make sense?
It does.
So I don't cut my family off. I just limit the amount of time that I spend doing it, because I love them and I love being around them, and I don't want to have regrets, but I just can't make that where I spend the majority of my time.
And family, we love y'all too.
Yes.
That's the end of this podcast. We would like to thank Mr. T. Gray for coming out and filling us with that entrepreneurship mindset wisdom that he has brought to us the second time. We hope to have you out again.
I'm happy to come back.
I know I'm putting it on you every single time, but man, you're giving the wisdom to us so much. Right. Go out. When he comes out with his book, I want him to come back on. We're getting back out for the book release.
Yeah, this is no degree. What? This is pure hustle. This is pure hunger. This is pure curiosity. This is pure vision. I told you guys last time, I remember growing up in New York, standing on a street corner, watching through a restaurant that had the private room was on the street level, and I saw a salesperson giving a presentation over like a dinner presentation to a bunch of people. And I stood there and I just looked. I don't know how long I was there, guys, but I said, that is gonna be me.
There you go. Yeah.
And so I'm here to tell you guys, if you have that, you can make it happen.
Make it happen. We also like to thank Tracy with RMD Cigar and Accessories for coming out, and give a big shout out to Foundation Cigars. My guy Nate hooked this up.
This is nice.
It is nice. Yeah, it's really like it. Yeah.
I've never had a Foundation cigar before.
Made in the USA.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
And we got some bringing it back to Africa with the Ethiopians on that. Nice. Man, that was some great news about Ethiopia and the tabernacle.
It was nice.
Okay.
Nice.
So, hey guys, we love y'all. Appreciate y'all for checking us out. Again, stay tuned for the next podcast, August 24th. Be right here. Cigar International Conroe. Peace.
Peace.